Today we are making bagels that clocks in at 426 calories, 19 grams of proteins, 49 grams of carbs and 16 grams of fat. And to start off we're going to add 3 grams of yeast and 10 grams of sugar to a bowl. Then we're going to add 150 grams of water, that's roughly 40 degrees Celsius, that's around 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're just going to leave that alone for 5 minutes and it's going to start to bubble. And while we're waiting on that, we're going to add 240 grams of flour and 3 grams of salt. Roughly 3 grams of salt. Then just mix that together, and after 5 minutes our yeast should be bubbling away, meaning that we can stir in the remaining yeast, and once that's mixed we can add the flour. And to knead the dough and to mix the dough I'm going to be using a stand mixer and the dough hook attachment. If you do, just use the lowest setting and knead it for 5 to 6 minutes. It's perfectly fine to do this by hand. Then just mix everything together and knead it for a little while, but there's no need to do it for any longer period of time. While our stand mixer is working on the dough, we can prep another bowl where we're gonna let the dough rise for an hour. So just add roughly 2 grams of olive oil, coat it around the edges, and once the dough is done, we're simply just going to transfer our dough to the other bowl, and we're going to leave the dough there covered for roughly an hour or until it has doubled in size. To check if your dough is done, you can poke it with your finger, and if the dough bounces back, it needs to rise some more. Otherwise, you are good to go. Meaning that it's time for us to remove the air from the dough. You can just punch it down to do that. And then it's time to divide the dough into separate parts. For me, the dough weighed almost exactly 400 grams. It should be something similar for you, meaning that you should divide it into 4 parts, that's 100 grams each. And then we're going to start to form our bagels, and we're going to do that by forming this reverse C type of thing with our hand, and just to rub the bagels between our hands and the counter and form little balls. When we have our bagel balls, we are going to make our hole. Simple enough, just put your finger through. You can use flour on your finger if you like, and then just stretch them out until they form the classic bagel shape. Once you've done that, we're going to take a big pot, which we're going to fill with water and put it on the stove and bring to a boil. Then cover the bagels and put our oven on 225 degrees Celsius or around 440 degrees Fahrenheit. Then our water is boiling and it's time to boil the bagels. And we're going to boil them for 1.5 minutes on each side. So just have a timer ready. And after 1.5 minutes, we're simply going to flip them and boil them again on the other side for 1.5 minutes. So 3 minutes in total. And then you have to choose your own topping. Personally, I like poppy seeds and salt, so that's what I've gone for. However, feel free to use what you prefer. Also, I weighed this out and I ended up using 6 grams of poppy seeds, so 1.5 grams for each bagel. Roughly 6 grams. Then, personally, I like to add some salt, and after that we're going to put them in the oven, and they're going to be in the oven for roughly 20 minutes. So until until they are golden brown, I would say. Once you're there, just take them out. I still haven't learned that you're not able to just put your phone in a 200 degrees oven. But anyway, when you have when your bagels are done, take them out, put them on a cooling rack if you have one. And then it's time for us to fry some eggs and bacon. And like last time, I will leave a link to a spreadsheet in the description where you'll see the calorie calculations, and also you're able to change the portion sizes if you want to make more than 4 bagels or something like that. Meaning that if you want other things on your bagel as well, you can just see the calories there and then deduct it from the total and change to what you want to have on your bagel. I'm also going to be adding 1 slice of Hamburger cheese, and that's it. All we need to do now is assemble, eat and enjoy. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.